creator of the NRC brand, gives his insight and thoughts on the world of comic books, gaming, tech, and media industries as the host of Neo Reality Collective. Experience a slew of regular episodes covering news and pop culture, along with reviews and editorial pieces showcasing the best and worst of our ever-expanding multimedia world.
Welcome everyone to Neo Reality Collective. I'm your host, Derek Brown. We're back, and it's the 91st episode. And oh boy, February started off really big with February 4th's Fantastic Four: The First Steps. The trailer finally came out. We finally get introduced to the Marvel Cinematic Universe's first family being fully integrated into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but they're not on the Marvel Earth that we know of. No, or 616. They're on their own separate universe of the Marvel Cinematic Multiverse. Right now, they're in a current setting with this trailer showcasing this retrofuturistic 1960s setting that we're getting. And when I was watching the trailer, I was amazed at how clean it looked. Like they got the retrofuturistic setting all looking nice, all looking beautiful, and then we see Ben Grimm as the Thing, and oh my god, there's so much Jack Kirby in here that made me go, oh god, this is awesome. And people were complaining about it, saying like what happened to CGI when they're comparing the Ben Grimm we're getting from this movie to the Ben Grimm from the Fantastic Four from Fox, and not Fan-4-Stick, I mean. God, that movie was bad. But and people just were complaining about it, and I was like, okay, look, I know mainstream audiences probably never read the comics, but for comic book fans, this is Jack Kirby's Ben Grimm being brought to life. And not only that, he's a mix of CGI and practical suiting. This is a practical effects CGI mix-up. And I'm gonna be real, it looks pretty awesome. I could actually believe Ben Grimm really is the Thing in this scene. And it's not just a big gigantic CGI or the monstrous Ben Grimm we got in Fan-4-Stick. Oh man. And of course Ben Grimm with the I know people were complaining about his face, and it's like that's exactly like how Jack Kirby drew him in the comics when this first started all out. But not only that, we finally get a more comic accurate take on Galactus, because remember in Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer, he was a giant entropy cloud. Yeah, that was a thing. Because having a big giant purple monster that goes through space consuming planets was just out of the realm of possibility, even though movies are not supposed to be like that. Like, everything they do is practically unbelievable when it comes to comic book stuff. So unless we suddenly find people with stretchy rubber powers, let me know about that. Also, we got Johnny Storm. We see Johnny Storm, aka the Human Torch, doing his Human Torch form, flying throughout New York City. We get Sue Storm doing the Invisible Woman abilities, the reflection of light and everything. But we somehow don't see Reed Richards using, his powers. He's in the film played by Pedro Pascal, aka the guy who was popular on The Mandalorian until they decided to just screw the pooch on season 3, and also subsequently the Book of Boba Fett, basically reversing everything that we had with season 2, and I'm still mad about that. But yeah, the synopsis came out saying, set against the vibrant backdrop of the 1960s inspired retro-futuristic world, Marvel Studios' The Fantastic Four's First Steps introduces Marvel's first family. Reed Richards, Susan Storm, Johnny Storm, Ben Grimm, as they face the most daunting challenge yet. Forced to balance their roles as heroes with their strength of the family bond, they must defend Earth from the ravenous space god called Galactus and his enigmatic herald, Silver Surfer. And if Galactus is planned to devour the entire planet around it, and it weren't bad enough, it suddenly gets very personal. And there's also been going ahead and And they were already confirmed by Kevin Feige that yes, the Fantastic Four will appear in Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, because we gotta do that. And we also gotta bring in Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom to show up in this film. And with how the reception for Captain America Brave New World has gotten, both from the critics and from the audiences, the audience side is that they still love it, but the critics are like, not good. Tragic. So basically all hope lies in Fantastic, much like how all hope lies in Doom, in the comics at least. But yeah, so Robert Downey Jr. is said to be showing up in this in a post-credits scene cameo appearance, because, we can't have him interacting with the Fantastic Four. I guess that, the very foundation of the Marvel Universe is based off the big rivalry between Mr. Fantastic and Doctor Doom. That would be crazy! Spoiler alert, it's been reported that Secret Wars' saga, that with Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, it will not go ahead and have the deep complexity between Mr. Fantastic and Doctor Doom, probably because they wouldn't have enough time to tell that story, because this is literally a last minute change, because after what happened with Jonathan Majors and Kang the Conqueror. And now you wouldn't be surprised. And there's been rumors going around that they're going to do that to the comic book version of Kang the Conqueror. Basically, kill him off eventually down the road after Jed McKay's run, probably, and replace them with this new character that no one will care about, because they'll be like, why do we have to kill him and put this new guy in? And it can't be because Jonathan Majors' role as Kang the Conqueror didn't work out. That's just a horrible move. But, yeah, that's a completely different topic. It's just a reminder of why I really hate the whole, we need to make the Marvel Comics stuff be basically a big, gigantic advertisement for the MCU. Yeah. But when that was all going on, there was something coming out about the posters they had, looking like this very patriotic, old school style publication of posters, and there was something going on about it that Marvel had to come out and publicly deny, where, okay, so there's been word going around that Marvel might have been using artificial intelligence to create the Fantastic Four First Step posters, especially when there's one image of a man with just 4 fingers. And yeah, and they also bring up duplicated faces not looking in the correct direction, and odd-sized limbs. And they have to keep trying to, and Disney Marvel spokesperson told IGN that AI was not using the creation posters, which suggests something else is going on. Let's, yeah, here's the thing. There was also something going on. There's also been people believing that maybe it's because the people who made these posters just got lazy at the end, and so they just copy and pasted everything. I don't know. We'll probably never know unless someone leaks it. But yeah, the fact that there's an idea now that Marvel is probably using AI generated content to go ahead and, well, make this thing make AI generated posters is saddening. Really, it really is. That's not really helping their case, especially since they have to go up against Superman by James Gunn, the former what was supposed to be the savior of the Marvel Universe after Endgame, and now he's at DC. So, good luck with that. We also got some other big news going on. Magic the Gathering, the big iconic trading card game, has now been, Hasbro Entertainment is now finally deciding to say, like, okay, look, we've been doing this Magic the Gathering for decades now. We are kind of surprised as you are that we have not done a shared universe yet. So yeah, they're teaming up with Legendary Entertainment to develop a shared Magic the Gathering universe that will span through film and TV, and it's going to be adapting the game as a movie first. The company Wizards of the Coast launching it back in 1993 as the world's first trading card game, and as soon as it was a worldwide hit, becoming a schoolyard staple in the 90s and inspiring conventions, Hasbro acquired the company back in Wizards of the Coast back in 1999 and says the game has reached 50 million players thanks to compelling characters, fantastical worlds, and the deep strategy required to play. This got reported on The Hollywood Reporter, and they already have, and let's see, they already have a Magic the Gathering TV show set up on Netflix with Star Trek Picard showrunner Terry Mattels, while a decade ago, 20th Century Fox developed a film universe that never got off the ground with producer Simon Kinberg, because he also made Dark Phoenix, so we all remember that. But yeah, I'm kind of amazed this never did a shared universe, or at least more adaptations of his IP and intellectual property, and then started doing crossovers with all these with iconic characters and setting them into their settings, which would be awesome to see. But I don't think the rights would work like that. But the fact that Magic the Gathering is finally getting a shared universe project off the ground, it's kind of fun. But I'm hoping it works out, and I hope they don't rush it, because we're pretty much in the late stages of the shared universe genre. Not only that's been going on, Legendary Entertainment has also agreed with Bandai Namco to produce, finally, a live-action Gundam film adaptation. Yep, co-production of the Gundam live-action movie has begun in a poster that came out, and oh god. Please note, this franchise has had 25 anime series, 34 animated films, 27 original anime productions, and more, plus an incredibly popular toy line that's combined pulling more than $900 million a year, and they're finally going into live action stuff outside of fan-made projects. And I've said this on some occasions with some of my buddies about Gundam. I'm like, wait, how come we never got a Gundam Transformer crossover? Like, wouldn't that be kind of awesome? To have a plot like where the Transformers go into the future and they see Gundams running around and they assume it's a Transformer, and it turns out they're piloted Gundams by humans, and the idea is that in this take on the universe, it's basically revealed that Gundams are kind of like the legacy the Transformers gave them, the idea that they could be just as great as the Transformers are in their eyes. I don't know, I'm just spitballing here, but it's always just fascinating me we have never gotten a Gundam Transformer crossover, and that would be pretty damn awesome to see humanity show that we can defend ourselves against the Decepticons and all that. And of course we might get evil ones that try to team up with the Decepticons and try to prove that they're equal to them, which wouldn't surprise me. And the fact that, it can make for some interesting storytelling they can make. Meanwhile, back in the Marvel side of things, Marvel Rivals has set the February release date for the Thing and Human Torch characters to be added into the game on February 21st, 2025. Yeah, this game has gotten popular. Like, even Overwatch is bringing back loot boxes and all that and trying to restore the faith they had with the fans. Pretty much hard to do so due to the horrid reputation it's gotten. But, yeah, this was a thing. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to the Thing in Human Torch. I have still not won a match in Marvel Rivals outside of fighting AI bots with a player team, because I am not good at teamwork. Teamwork just doesn't make the dream work for me for some reason. So, on February 9th, we witnessed the Kendrick Lamar summary execution of Drake, featuring the Super Bowl. Yeah, that's what it was. That's how I described it. I'm not taking it back, because that's what it literally was. Everyone wanted to see what happened at the event, but mostly they wanted to see Kendrick's concert performance there, and the Super Bowl was practically secondary. In fact, I would not be surprised if there were some people tempted to just leave the show after they saw the Kendrick performance. But while we were at this big, expensive Kendrick Lamar concert, we got a bunch of commercials and trailers because the Super Bowl has that now. We got the Final Reckoning, Mission Impossible, big game spot, seeing Tom Cruise doing what he does best and play his own stunts, including holding on to a flying plane, so I'm pretty sure he did that for realsies. We also got Jurassic World Rebirth. Yeah, I was surprised that, they're still making these? I thought they were done. Then we had yet another Thunderbolts trailer, and they decided to finally address what the asterisk is. And it turns out that the Avengers are not available. That's basically what the asterisk is. It's not because they don't want to call themselves the Thunderbolts, because Thunderbolt Ross would be too busy going ahead and making everyone mad about it, especially after his stunt at the White House in Brave New World. But, yeah. We also get another Leo and Stitch big game spot, especially after Stitch crashes the Super Bowl. And we get a teaser to How to Train Your Dragon live action, which is okay. But yeah, but I wanted to go back to Jurassic World Rebirth. Oh god, July seems to be very busy for rebirth and saving, because let's see, we're getting Jurassic World Rebirth on July 2nd. We're getting Superman, formerly known as Superman Legacy, also known as James Gunn Please Save and Restore the Faith in the DCU films, DC Shared Universe stuff. And we also get Fantastic Four coming out at the near end of July, which is basically them having the all hell lies in the Fantastic. So yeah, July's gonna be a busy month for film goers. It was already rocking Austin with Superman and the Fantastic Four, because think about it, the company that helped make DC Comics what it is today, taking on the first family that saved the Marvel brand at once upon a time in the 60s. And now Jurassic World Rebirth tries to enter its way in, and they're probably looking at both, and the two are looking at Jurassic World and being like, "Wait, you're here? Oh God, man, why is July so busy for us?" Yeah, we don't know, but yeah, we also got some commercials such as Dunkin' after they disbanded Dunkin' Donuts, and they also had this 7-minute feature featuring Affleck, Secession, Jeremy Strong, Coach Casey Affleck, Donnie Wahlberg, and so much more. We also got Instacart bringing together grocery store's greatest heroes for Super Bowl, including Chester Cheetah, the Kool-Aid Maid, the Pillsbury Doughboy, the Energizer Bunny, Mr. Clean, and many more. So we're essentially getting food fight, but had it been done right. Yeah. Oh, and a man tries to stop an alien invasion because they're trying to steal his Doritos. Yeah, that's just something we accept. Pfizer delivering a heartwarming commercial and a goal of fighting for 8 cancer breakthroughs by 2030, because this is where we're at now, especially given the current state of the world. We also got, let's see, other commercials. I couldn't pronounce these right. We also got Little Caesars enlisting Eugene Levy to show how good its crazy puffs are. Let's see, Uber Eats shows the birth of football with some big name celebs and all that insanity. Just a wild show all around. And my God, I can't believe they had the main event be the big show, be a massive concert. Like, seriously, that's insane. So anyways, Kendrick then later murdered Drake on public television, global television, along with the crowd singing it. So, yeah, it was a good run. Meanwhile, Insomniac Games revealed that they had pitched a Resistance 4, but it never got approved. If I had to take a wild guess about Resistance 4, it's because it wasn't going to be the stealth-based cover action adventure shooter with slight RPG mechanics that Sony nowadays likes to push, and having a first-person shooter, bah, We have Concord for that. 2 weeks later, never mind, we don't have Concord anymore. So, oh, by the way, I have found out apparently Concord's director has been hired for Halo. We are screwed, aren't we? But who knows? Maybe this will be the unexpected redemption arc. We'll see. Also, remember back in 2021 they announced Wonder Woman by Monolith Games, the developers behind the Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor Lord of the Rings games? Yeah, we haven't gotten a massive update from that in God knows how long. Well, there was a big report by Jason Schreier that WarnerBros Games and Wonder Woman are currently having massive issues. So, according to the article, one of the company's biggest bets in development of a video game based on Wonder Woman has struggled to coalesce. According to people familiar with the project, early last year, it got rebooted and switched directors. The game has already cost more than $100 million. It said the people who asked not to be identified discussing non-public information, and it says it's still years away from release if it ever makes it to market. And after Warner Bros. Games, its head of the studio, David Haddad, had to step down following the failure of Suicide Squad, Kills the Justice League, and the collapse of Harry Potter Quidditch Champions and MultiVersus, which is also set to shut down later this year. Yeah. And then there was reports going around that there was also a Flash game in development. That got canceled after the Flash, so thanks a lot, Ezra Miller, you piece of God knows excrement political use charge advertisement for the far right to go ahead and make an argument that we should destroy their way of life, essentially, because politicians suck. Also, there was also plans to be a Joker game. I don't know about that. And now there's a new Game of Thrones game in the works, so we'll see how that works out, but I'm not optimistic. But the other big blunder that they canceled was a Constantine game, John Constantine, or John Constantine, or however you want to pronounce it. I called him Constantine for years. I've been so used to that, I'm just hardwired, and plus I studied Byzantine history at one point, so I'm just used to calling him Constantine, thanks to Constantinople. But, anyways, enough about me being a Byzantine buff for a while. Being so used to that word. Yeah, when I heard that they had plans for a Constantine game, I was like, oh my god, it was so easy to do. And if they argue that it's because it wasn't live service, I will scream. The Hogwarts Legacy game is still years away, so yeah, the last few years, and there's a Rocksteady Batman game set after the Suicide Squad game that's set to come out, and that's also years away. They just only started development recently. So, yeah. This has been a difficult period for WarnerBros Games, and I sincerely hope things work out for them, provided David Zaslav doesn't just decide to shut the whole thing out and sell the studios out, because my god, or shut them down entirely. But we'll get back to WarnerBros Discovery in a little bit. But right now, we're here with the Nintendo Switch 2 announcements. Ever since it got announced, there's been stuff going around about it, and people have been wondering, how much is it going to cost? And Nintendo's response says it needs to consider the price range that consumers expect for Nintendo products. So, anyways, let's see. So, analysts predict that the Nintendo Switch will be $400, and this would be a step up from the $300 launch price of the original, a price Nintendo still maintains to this day outside of sales and bundles. The Nintendo Switch OLED is $350, while the Nintendo Switch Lite costs $200. And we still have no idea on specs and features beyond what was shown at the Nintendo's drive-by video reveal, but everything points to a bigger, more powerful gen console. oh, making $400 seem like a, quote, reasonable landing zone. I'm like, it's less than the Xbox Series X, it's less than the PlayStation 5, and way less than the PlayStation 5 Pro, so we're all winners here. At least until Valve unveils their next big powerful Steam Deck variant, and then everything will be back to normal. And they also shared, and Nintendo Switch 2 Direct shared by Super Smash Bros. Creators and fans are going wild over a potential new game. And there's been rumors around about another Super Smash Bros. Some people think it might be the finale game, since it's kind of hard to top Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, especially with its expansive roster. There's also been rumors going around that, apparently he said he doesn't know how the franchise could get any bigger or better than the Switch entry, than just, like, upgrade it and add more characters. Like, you know, since you added Sephiroth, Joker from Persona 5, Steve and Alex from Minecraft, Sora from Kingdom Hearts, which was awesome. I mean, like, I would have just been upgrading the Ultimate and keep it around forever, if that's the logic they're going for. But, like, yeah, they want to make another one, but apparently there's rumors going around that it might not actually be a big roster like last time, which sucks, but they might feature an expansive story mode just to give it the treatment it always deserved. I don't know, we'll see when it ever gets announced. There's also word going on about the Joy-Con features confirmed in a new patent that came out, and it also features Joy-Con padding, including illustrations for the mouse functionality, so get ready for that. The game controller is detachable, mounted to a body. The device that has that recess that comprises first magnet and second magnet, and at the bottom of the recess, and that can execute game processing. And showing mouse-like feature functions that can be used as a combination of ways, whether to dual mouse configuration or player using one controller like a mouse and a second Joy-Con like a standard game controller. Cool. We'll see how that all works out. Also, Assassin's Creed Shadows is getting a prequel manga. My god. So, yeah, the company revealed that while this prequel manga will arrive on Japan on the release date of the game, it won't arrive elsewhere until way later. Okay, that's a horrid move. So, yeah. It will follow the story of a young assassin apprentice as she fights against the growing presence of the Templar Order in Japan. Get ready for that. Not only that, Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater arrives in August according to the PlayStation Store, set to release on August 28, 2025. And yeah, we don't know. It's according to a leak. It could change. Honestly, we'll see where that goes. We also there's been a handful of tapes appeared on Ron South's YouTube channel, owned by an avid filmmaker with over 1,000 subscribers, and one of them is the Henry Cavill tapes he made for when he auditioned for James Bond 2005, before he lost out to Daniel Craig. So yeah, while there were also people who also wanted the role were Stan Worthington, Rupert Friend, and Anthony Starr, aka Homelander. Man. So, something I wanted to say, it had Henry Cavill been the James Bond of that era, it would have been fun. But apparently they called the audition was tremendous, and it's like, wow. So here's the thing. Casino Royale's director Martin Campbell actually wanted Cavill for the role. He preferred him, but he lost out because of other decision makers preferred Daniel Craig. So we lost because producers. Damn. So yeah. So remember Back to the Future? Yeah, yeah, apparently fans still want a fourth film, even though nowadays Disney would probably screw it all up. I think, I keep trying to remember which production company made Back to the Future. Is honestly, I just automatically assume it's Disney related. nowadays, because almost everything is Disney created now. But I don't like, besides Fox, but that belongs to Disney now. But the other one is Warner Bros. So everything's either Warner Brothers or Disney, and all the other smaller companies are just there. But the writer and producer of all 3 Back to the Future films, along with co-creator Robert Zemeckis, made clear that there are no plans for a canonical continuation of the franchise, saying, people always say, when are you going to do Back to the Future 4? And we say, you. Of course. Yeah. And I can I would have been less hostile about it, but I can understand why he wouldn't want to do a Back to the Future 4, especially especially after the events of Matrix Resurrections and Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny not being really received well. But yeah, we'll see how things go in the future, unless Disney or someone else decides to say, let's do it anyways and screw what everyone else thinks. Back to WarnerBros Discovery, however, the most shocking thing happened. Last year, back in the famous events of 2024, which definitely did not feature any tragedies that made me go ahead and cry myself to sleep, or go ahead and make me go into a complete mental breakdown for the entire month of November. Spoilers, I had a complete mental breakdown during the entire month of November, and that's not even counting the fact that I had to go through the holiday shopping of December. And that was horrible. But at the halfway mark of 2024, RoosterTeeth was shut down by WarnerBros Discovery because it was not making money, it was not doing too well, and a lot of their projects just weren't moving forward anymore. But then something happened on their YouTube channel quite recently. There was a video produced called Homecoming with a person walking around the old studio, opening a door, and saying, guys, I'm back from getting milk. Why are the lights off? Oh no. So, yeah, the voice of Burnie Burns came, and he decreed, what the hell happened? Returned to the old studio of RoosterTeeth and found it completely abandoned. So that was the longest I'll be back for milk later. So yeah, what's going on with that video? Well, in a press release, Burnie Burns announced his independent production company, Box Crayon Productions, has acquired the RoosterTeeth brand and much of its remaining assets. After he had left in 2020 and moved to Scotland with his family, but founded Box Canyon in 2023. So he decided to buy back his baby, RoosterTeeth, and even brought back the old logo. Oof. But people have been wondering. We're wondering what the heck's going on, what they mean by much of its remaining assets, because while we don't know much, and a lot of independent projects that were being made under the RoosterTeeth banner decided to go independent, there was a brought up about RWBY, because RWBY is now owned by Viz Media, and they're going to end the franchise probably down the road with with Volume 10, no idea on that, or they might reboot it entirely after they finish Volume 10. And just start from scratch. But yeah, and then Red vs. Blue Restoration ended the series on a quote very mixed bow, but it was a good ending nonetheless. But it's currently unclear if he has reacquired the rights to Red vs. Blue and other RoosterTeeth shows that weren't sold off. We'll see. I'm looking forward to what Burnie Burns can do. I hope it doesn't end up like the G4 revival going horribly wrong. Though at the same time, G4 was what would eventually become YouTube and whatnot. What people can do on YouTube, G4 was doing before on TV. And when G4 came back, it doesn't really work, and then they self-destructed themselves with a very, very bad public backlash fired back that we got from someone there. So that was a bad time, and then it just destroyed the whole thing. And God. And then when that happened, it was just the end. But I think Rooster Teeth has a better chance of surviving because it started off on the internet and it tried to evolve into being more than just being an internet-based company. And WarnerBros Discovery opted to shut it down, and it had over 150 employees and had various projects that were in development that just weren't making it very much profit, remaining unprofitable for many. But yeah, so to see it come back is going to be interesting, and I'm certainly hoping for this. And Burnie Burns had to come out and publicly say that, look, do not harass the original team, do not harass the other team about if they're going back. It's up to them, it will be up to them, and if they don't want to come back, you just have to accept that. Essentially, that's what he said. He doesn't want people to harass all our old buddies from Rooster Teeth to come back, and all the other team members that joined up with them. No, if they want to come back, it has to be up to them. You can't just force them to come back because nostalgia. But yeah, I'm wishing Burnie Burns luck. I hope things work out, and let's hope this second round we go ends up better than the last one. Meanwhile, Obsidian's RPG game that's set to release soon, Avowed, can hit 60 frames per second on the Xbox Series X. Wow, that's that's been something that's been hotly debated. Took them long enough. Yeah. It's already out on February 13th for those willing to at least spend at least $90, though fans only willing to spend $70 or Game Pass are forced by Microsoft to wait until February 18th, which has been a trend deployed by publishers, but has already been scrapped by the likes of Ubisoft, so there's that. So take it for that what you will. But it took it long enough to get a game that's set to fully go 60 frames per second after we had that trend be where they could go 60 frames per second on the Xbox Series X or the PlayStation 5 for years for some reason. Meanwhile, Harrison Ford did not care about Indiana Jones 5 flopping, and he joined Marvel for a good time. Just saying, happens. So he went with the developers of The Day Before, who just says, shit happens. But at least he's handling it better than other people. Like, yeah, he just joined Marvel because he's like, I'm just here to have a good time. Just don't put me as Han Solo, I will freak out. Because that's a character he had wanted to kill off for years. And then he finally got it, and I can't imagine how much Disney had to pay just to have him show up for at least a good 2 minutes at the final movie of Rise of Skywalker. And I'm just going to say, it wasn't worth it. Meanwhile, Steam continues to be more consumer-friendly by revealing that early access games that, haven't been updated in a long while will finally get a proper warning for those who try to get into an early access game. So this extra note was added saying, the information and timeline described by the developers here may no longer be up to date, and it also reveals how long the last update was made. So that's a good decision. It would give players a heads up before making a massive change. While that's been going on with MultiVersus set to shut down in May, we already got a Save MultiVersus trending around, which... Yeah, and then they finally start doing clever stuff with it, like they're praising major Season 5 gameplay changes that had server shut down, and it's like, well, we're gonna kill it. We're gonna just kill it because we're done. And I'm just like, oh god, this is so... Like, how are they now putting in the more effort into the development of the game when it's about to shut down and now people want to play it more? Just awful bad timing. Meanwhile, remember Battlefield? After the disaster that was Battlefield 2042, EA Boss is willing to move Battlefield release date to account for, quote, nuanced year relative to competition. Translation, Grand Theft Auto 6. Look, I rather just move the release date not because of competition. I rather move the release date just so we could get everything in tip-top state. Like, we can't afford another 2042 disaster. We can't avoid Andrew Wilson, or as James Stephanie Sterling called him, Android Wilson, for funds. And I'm going to try to do the voice. Certainly, we exist in a competitive market. I've had the great fortune to be in this company for 25 years, and we have done a great job of competing with all of our great franchises over time. That being said, we've invested more in this Battlefield than any other Battlefield today. We have had 4 studios, a meaningful amount of time. We're looking for this to be the biggest Battlefield we've ever made, and of course, we want to make sure that we launch out into a window that we can deliver the fullness of the promise of what Battlefield can be and grow the community to a level that is consummated to the size of the game we're making. I do believe that this might be a nuanced year relative to competition. There may be some things happening in the year that may cause us to think differently about our launch timing. We have a FY26 launch year window. Oh man. That the team is targeting. We believe the game will be great and ready at that time, but if we got to close to that time frame and believe that this wasn't going to be a great window for us, then we would take a look at what alternative window options might be that would be giving us an appropriate time, energy, and player acquisition opportunity for this Battlefield game, for it to be all that it needs to be. So, they're screwed. Oh man, I can't help myself. Look, I just want this game to be good, and then I can probably get into it again. Meanwhile, EA also talking about Madden FC and might find real energy on the Nintendo Switch 2. That's been a thing going around where they say the Nintendo Switch 2 might actually finally be powerful for the more bigger games coming out. Meanwhile, Star Wars Celebration 2025 will feature an official appearance from sequel trilogy star Oscar Isaacs, sparking rumors that Poe Dameron's return to a galaxy far, far away is very assured. Set to take place in Tokyo on April 18th to the 20th, Daisy Ridley also appeared in there, and now she would appear in a new film, so fans are wondering if Isaac will do the same. My response is, no, I don't want that. I'd rather have just rebooted the whole franchise, or at the very least cut out the sequel trilogy nonsense, so we can at least get some measure of optimism as opposed to what we got, but that's probably not going to happen. Though Oscar Isaac did criticize Star Wars owner Disney for turning down his proposal of a romance between Poe and John Boyega's Finn, saying the Overlords were not ready for that. Gee, I wonder why. And then he also had negative feelings, but also made comments about being open for any roles down the road, though he's more or less been blacklisted. I've kind of forgot about him. So, yeah. And also, Poe Dameron's character was completely butchered by the 8th movie, and him making stupid decisions of idiot plot. And let's see, then there was John Boyega being reduced to a voice guy after his compelling character arc that could have been was revealed. That made things all the more worse. And then there was a deleted scene where John Boyega's character even tries to lead a stormtrooper revolution and exposes Captain Phasma for, letting the Starkiller base be destroyed. And they actually start considering, is that true? And then she just kills them all, and I was like, oh, Disney probably got rid of that because that would have been too compelling, and we need to pay all the attention on Rey because she is, because woman or something like that, and we can have John Boyega's character be compelling and all that. It needs to go to Rey because Mary sues, and I'm like, you're destroying everything that makes it not make. And here's the thing: I'm all for strong female characters. It's just that can we get a gradual progression towards that character being strong? If we're gonna do this whole fish out of water stuff. Like, it just annoys me how much Disney kept pushing Rey so much and yet forgetting that she kind of didn't have a character. And any attempts to have a character came in way too late for us to care. And any times to make his character could have been retconned and fixed up if they did it before in the other movies. Like, if they're gonna have her be the daughter of basically the daughter of Palpatine because the father was a clone that somehow broke away. Yeah, I don't get that either. I'm like, wait, if you were planning to do that, which you weren't, because apparently there were also debates about Kenobi and whatnot, and I'm almost like, can you just have Rey be a nobody character? Just have her be herself and not tied to a past character? Like Colin Trevorrow was trying to do with Duel of the Fates, but you scrap that idea. Like, wouldn't that have been more cooler? Like, way better than what we got? But, yeah. It's just one of those days. I really don't get it. So, while that's been going on, Apex Legends isn't doing the business for EA, so it's making Apex Legends 2.0 to come out after Battlefield. Damn. Speaking of the financial call earnings, Apex Legends net bookings revenue were down year over year, but performed in line with the company's expectations, so they're just waiting it out. They also talked about how Veilguard failed, and how it fails resonate with a broad audience. Gamers increasingly want a shared universe. Basically, they wanted to think that it needs to be live service, because apparently the CEO and EA's executives were like, we're going to get over 3 million copies. So we only showed half of it. Oh, damn. Oh, man. According to Jason Schreier, BioWare staff believed it was a miracle Veilguard released a complete game after EA forced it live service into it and then reversed course. Okay, here's an idea. How about you just make it a good game and stop pushing stuff that goes ahead and makes the narrative get out of focus? Like, it didn't even look like a Dragon Age medieval dark fantasy game like the other three were. But that's just me. Meanwhile, The Last of Us Season 2 is set to feature pretty brutal content cut from the game. How? Like, there's even going to include some of the lost levels that were somewhat restored in the PS5 remaster, Part 2. How brutal can this get? I don't know. I'll be amazed, but we'll see. But apparently the people said that Last of Us is set to last for 4 seasons in total, and, end after season 4. Not only that, Nintendo has said they're taking all possible measures to beat the Nintendo Switch 2 scalpers, saying we are making preparations. So if I had to guess, I'm going to pull a Mighty Keep comment here. They're going to send out all the ninjas to train and assassinate all scalpers who try to steal the Switch 2 content. Because by God, if they don't do it, if they can't do it, then the legal team definitely will. So Dragon Age, the Veilguard failing to resonate with the audience because, of course, Dragon Age's co-creator, who are former BioWare developers, says that, hey, why not just follow Baldur's Gate 3 Larian's lead? No! That's probably what they'll say. Meanwhile, a new comics limited series is coming out. 50 years ago, the Vision and Scarlet Witch got married, and they're set to reunite in a 5-issue limited series by Steve Orlando. And reuniting the original star-crossed lovers, and I'm excited for this, probably because Vision Quest is happening, because Vision is suddenly in the white suit again, so take it for what you will. But I'm hoping for the best for Steve Orlando. He told me because I still recall the interview I did with him back in 2020, how he wanted to write the Scarlet Witch. So, good job there, man. Rooting for you. Last but not least, Grand Theft Auto 6. Release date still set for fall 2025. The Take-Two CEO insisted, saying we feel really good about it. That's pretty optimistic. I'm hoping it works out. I really do. I'm hoping when the game comes out, it's a freaking masterpiece and doesn't try to go ahead and actually has an evolving story with DLC and expansions instead of what they did with GTA 5, where they focused all the stuff online and scrapped all the DLC they had planned because, of course. I am still mad about that. The fact that we could have gotten so much story content and they just said, nah. And then I find out that there was going to be a GTA game set in a fictional version of Tokyo. I'm like, what? You mean to tell me we could have gotten a form of the Yakuza Mafia in the game, in the franchise, and you said, nah. You sons of... But, yeah. That's about all we have for today for Neo Reality Collective. This has been a massive week for my brand. I have been working hard nonstop. I got my videos uploaded. I got content uploaded. I even got my bigger long way project released earlier than intended. Props to Leno, the editor. I'm hoping to resume shorts at near the fallout of the I'm gonna try to go ahead and set things up for the next few months. I'm hoping to get shorts back in production near the end of February, hopefully. But it's been an overall very rewarding week and very hardworking for me, even when I'm off for 10 days. I'm probably still gonna make about 2 more videos probably on both NRE and NRE Universe and on NRE WrestleVerse. We'll see, depending on how things go. This was your host, Eric Brown of Neo Reality Collective. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Check out my content in the description below. Stay tuned for more. I'll see you all again next time. Peace and take care. And I hope you all have a good one, and I'll see you all soon.
And that was our latest edition of Neo Reality Collective. Be sure to follow and support NRE creator Eric Brown on Twitter and YouTube. Check the links in the description below, and we'll see you all next time.